All right, here we go. We are going to chat about now some comments that were left because you know what? We're chatting about.
We still have one more giveaway to give out, right?
Oh, we're gonna do a giveaway right here, right now, because I want to hear
Okay.
I want to hear in the comment section here in the chat as we dive into a very real thing that happens.
You posed this question.
I did. I wanted to know from the community. I'm like, what makes you stop reading a comic?
That's a good question.
You know
I don't
what I mean?
think about that ever.
It's like.
Did you just come up with that earlier today? You're just sitting around?
I was thinking about it this week. I'm like, I want to have like a subject for this podcast, you know?
Okay.
Podcast number 39.
Right here at the end.
Chilling with me and my homies. And everybody stops reading comics for different reasons. And I found myself, like I was thinking about it and then I asked you and I'm like, man, we kind of have like different reasons. And I know everybody else does as well. So I kicked it to the community and this is some of the things that they said. And then I want to chat with you about it. So here we go. The first one was from Gorilla Comic Collection. He said, the story just drags on and the payoff isn't worth it.
What do you think? I feel like everybody who responded to your comment was thinking about a specific. That's what I'm. I read this and I'm like, what comic is he talking about?
Yeah, what payoff wasn't worth it? Comic fam, I want to know in the comment section for the community who is here with us.
Hi.
We're about to clear 200 viewers live on a Thursday. What's going on?
Don't say that. Then I get all nervous. I feel like
it's really cool that you guys are here with us. But I want to know like what makes it so that you guys don't want to read a particular comic. But yeah, when the story just drags on and the payoff isn't worth it, I would imagine, and I want to. Okay. We're not going to take. I feel like we're just going to. We're not going to say examples every single time.
No,
that's not what this is for.
We hear all day.
However, I would say that The Walking Dead was definitely one of those situations for me because although I kept reading it, it was just getting to a point where, like Robert Kirkman was saying, literally in the back of issue 193, I ended this a long time ago. I just had to keep writing it, and I just kind of kept doing the same things. You know,
I say that I feel like every week that Robert Kirkman just doesn't know how to end a book.
Oh my gosh! See, I like Robert Kirkman a little bit more than you.
Yeah,
but how does this make you feel like? You know, because
that's not a bad point.
It drags on.
That's one of the reasons I like reading.
You gotta have that hook. You know,
I talked about it multiple times today. How I like reading books that end, like 5-issue series, 6-issue miniseries. You know, there's going to be an end, like Casual Flick. There's no time to waste in a book like that. It's got to get to the point.
Yes,
it has to end. Like it's got a deadline, 4 issues, and you're done. So like, get to the point. There's no time to lollygag.
Right. That's how I feel like too. All right, this next one on here is no clear direction. The story was wasted. The story and wasted characters. So no clear direction is another reason why people
Deluxe,
stop.
No pickles.
Spicy Deluxe, no pickles. Thank you so much for the comment.
Great name. No clear direction.
I like it.
To the story and wasted characters. Okay.
That's right. So what do you think about that?
It's not a bad
character development is tough.
Right? Story-based reasons for dropping a book. That's probably why I would, if I was going to get rid of a book, it would be because of the story.
If you don't care about the characters, what's the whole point of it, right? And I think that's a big one. If you don't have a reason, and you typically get that within the first couple pages. You know, you find out what they don't like. You find out maybe a challenge that they're trying to overcome. You get introduced to a tragedy in the very beginning, something that makes you care about the character a little bit more. When discussing horror stories and horror movies and things like that, you know, one thing that I'm always looking for is that connection with the character. It's very seldom that you have a good leading character of a horror franchise or horror movie. Seldomly are they memorable. And I'm talking like some of the biggest horror movies. You don't even get that great of character development with some of the biggest ones.
A lot of time you're waiting for them to get killed by the killer, who is usually the person that you root for.
I'm talking about like depth in a character. It doesn't happen in horror very often. You'll hear some of the most famous horror creators even talk about how they seldomly achieve that in their own movies.
Right.
So in a comic book, it's even more difficult, you know? But when it's done right, oh damn, is it good. Okay, ho damn. I just said ho damn. Let's keep it going.
That's not a curse word.
It is not. No, I can't believe I cursed in this show. All right, we have Joe Edward Lewis.
Joe Edward Lewis.
Joe Edward Lewis.
That is a full name. So
his response.
Sorry.
I tend to follow creative teams, so a sudden change can kill a series for me. How real is that, Ryan?
I agree with that.
There's two different things that happen. Because sometimes, like even in Immortal Hulk, since we're chatting about Al Ewing.
Good example.
Every so often, you know, after a few issues, and typically it was like after like 4 to 6 issues, there was a break. Because the creators need to have a break, specifically the artist. So you'll get a new artist in, and that team of artists will kind of come in and then come back out, you know?
They usually just one quick,
one or two.
Right.
That's fine. I actually really enjoy that.
Department of Truth is what comes to mind for me. They recently just did a 2-issue kind of like ramble off of the main plot to kind of explore some flashback stuff.
So with a new creative team in an ongoing series that has an established creative team, I'm all for it. Two thumbs up. I like it. It's like a one-off episode. You're getting something that maybe doesn't progress the story as much as other issues in the run. However, it's a nice break. It's a breathing. You're able to take a breath as a reader, but also the creative team can take a breath as well. However, we had Venom just end. Donny Cates is leaving the run.
Almost. Last issue.
Yeah. It's one left.
Well, yeah.
And there's gonna be a new creative team. Immortal Hulk. I want to know from in the comment section right now here, who's gonna read Immortal Hulk after Al Ewing leaves?
I have never read Hulk before. This is the only time I've ever read Hulk. I have seriously debated whether
you are not.
How could whatever follows this be as good, right? Like, maybe it won't be.
Let me know in the comment section, comic fam. I want to hear what you think. There's a lot of people who are reading Hulk for that exact reason, only for that reason, and worrying. It's just worry time.
I'll try it.
We got to try, but just what is your gut response?
Actually, this is a funny story. I was reading. I was collecting Guardians of the Galaxy by Donny Cates. He did 12 issues and then he dropped off, and Al Ewing took it over, and I dropped it. It's one of the few books I've dropped, especially after one issue.
Yeah.
No more Butch? Oh, no.
He's like, nope.
I want to hang out
Don't
with
touch
Ryan.
me. He wants to hang out with Ryan. Wants to get hair all over Ryan.
That's fair. I'm okay
Butch is on the
that.
table just causing a ruckus. All right. And I just want to make sure everyone knows that Comics with Bueller is in the house. Thank you, brother, for hooking us up with some blowtorch. It's hot. And he wanted to let me know that he was blocked by Rob Liefeld.
Well, that just makes sense. Bueller's offensive.
Yeah, he is.
It's a
disgusting.
fire starter.
All right, here we go.
He smells like chocolate, apparently.
He smells like chocolate. I wonder if you saw that part of the video. Let's keep it going.
Hope so.
This next one here. Is that it? No, here we go. This one I can relate to right now. Richard Mans 4's response. He says he stops reading a comic when his cat stands on top of the comic.
Sure.
And that's what happens with Butch sometimes. Sometimes Butch will invade the studio or my bedroom or the living room and jump on, not the collectibles, because I have to keep those stored away because I know what he'll get into.
Right. He's a little demon.
But sometimes if he looks like super cute and he's laying down and I want to bug him, then he's going to sleep on the comic and I can't read the comic. So I feel you there, my brother. I feel you there. All right. This is Solid Hide, the comic guy. He's an awesome guy over on Instagram. Terrible writing or just awful word balloons where the writing is barely legible.
Batman Who Laughs.
Yeah, it's tough to read.
I couldn't do it. It's black speech bubbles with blood red writing.
It's really tough, man.
Hurts.
It hurts to look at it, man.
Yeah. And especially when you read his own series. He's running through all 6 issues, 7 issues. And it's like, what? No, I can't follow this.
I feel you there, man. I feel you there.
I want to like it. I just can't read it. I can read, though. Just not that book.
You know what's really tough to read? Because it's, like on the other end of it, Sandman. The first trade of Sandman is so tough to read. And it's a combination of the art as well as the word bubble placement, which is interesting because this is one of the most recommended stories in comic book history.
I read the first trade.
It's amazing.
I don't get it. I didn't get it.
Oh, you just got to keep going.
It was like 15 years ago.
It's a very strangely good comic book. Just
that's what everyone says.
It's a special one. You really aren't gonna find many people who are upset with the recommendation after they read it. They're gonna be like, oh wow, I want to get this tattooed on my face. So what's going on? And no, I actually don't have any Sandman tattoos, not yet. All right, next one we have Harm's Way Chad. He says, if they can't keep me hooked with the story after 3 issues, and that got me thinking typically after 3 issues, it's tough to keep someone on board. And I remember chatting with you about Berserker and how you weren't really engaged after the first issue. I liked it.
Right.
But then second issue hit and you're like, oh, dude, I cannot wait for issue 3 now.
I don't know if I said that. But
dude, you were pretty damn excited.
The second one is definitely an improvement over the first one.
Oh, my gosh.
Keanu Reeves and Matt Kent are doing some cool stuff. It's better than I thought it would be. However,
yeah.
But it's not fair to judge. And I know I just said I dropped Guardians of the Galaxy issue 1 after Al Ewing, but it's normally not fair to give a book just 1 issue and then cancel it. Like give it a shot. And usually I feel like 3, like Harm's Way Chad says here, 3 is usually a good. You can get if it's not doing it for you by 3 issues, then you're probably safe to bail.
But then here's the thing: sometimes it happens in like the last issue, and you're like, oh damn,
the last issue.
Family Tree.
Yes.
That first trade.
Jeff Lemire.
We're
bringing everything full circle today.
Oh, man, this is how we do it, man. You know, Jeff Lemire wrote such a fantastic story. Like Family Tree. I want to know who's read this.
Read Family Tree, guys.
But by the end of it, you realize, oh, this whole thing was a lead up for us to transition.
Like halfway through, like issue 6 is like,
yes,
it's all prologue basically.
Yeah, and that transition is so damn good.
Yes.
Like hot damn comic fam good.
Read Family Tree.
Read Family Tree. Little girl, what do you do when your daughter starts just growing a tree branch out of her back? Yeah, she's turning into a tree. It's crazy. But again, if you only read through issue 3 and you're like, I don't know where it's going with this, like, I don't know what's going on, you would miss out on a huge turning point that just takes you into a whole new position in the comic that's just like mindset is different when you're reading. Like, oh, now you know what you're getting. Post-apocalyptic goodness. But I don't want to get into it too much because it's so damn good. Okay, next one on the, let's see here. Next comment from the community is from, who's this from?
Our Puebla.
There you go. It's simple. If I'm struggling to focus on a book, I usually drop it. And that kind of goes with what you just said. It could be struggling to focus like visually. It's not like the panels.
That kind of focus.
I talk about panel placement a lot.
You do.
I think that it's important. I think that as someone who's like, dude, I get so distracted when I read. I can't even read like a chapter book.
Batwoman. That's a good example of something that like you don't really. It might be a struggle to kind of. Maybe, I don't know, I haven't read it, so I don't know. It didn't look like a struggle at all. It looked like a glorious display.
You get excited to jump in.
It's like jumping down a water slide. Like, let me just follow along and I'm having fun.
Exactly. That's
Sometimes
what it's like.
It's not that easy to follow, like the placement of panels or like word balloons are getting in the way of stuff. You don't know which direction to read, which one comes first, because some editor didn't take the time to kind of like place the balloons in the right place. That happens a lot. Focus is pretty important to read. You want to feel like you're not reading. You want it to just go.
Focus. That's a really, really good point. And I'm thinking, oh, did we go?
No, there's more.
There's more, right? There is more. Oh, here we go. We got another one here. This is from AKA Mr. Bolo over on Instagram. When a story doesn't grip me enough to remember what's going on from month to month. So this is first off very real because there's a lot of members who only consume their comics once a month when they pick up their comics. Or rather, they're picking your comics like every week, but the story only comes out once a month. So you kind of forget what happened. It's personally why I like reading graphic novels more, or I like to wait till I have a couple issues.
That's how I used to do it. And now that I work at a comic shop, I have to keep up on everything every week.
Sure.
I keep a short box in my room of the last issue, sometimes 2 issue of every book I'm currently subscribed to. So I have a box of all the recent stuff. Before the new issue comes out, I always read the one right before it. So it just ends up taking like twice as long, but it's fun. It makes it a lot easier to,
you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
It's tough though. I find myself having to reread a comic book. Like, what happened? I like skim through it again. Like, oh, okay, that's what happened. I totally forgot. But yeah, if you some of the biggest comics, like my favorite comics, I don't forget. I know what the next one's going to be like. Even if we have 30 other comics that are going to be read in between now and that last one, I still remember where Saga left off. I'm excited.
Spoilers.
No, I'm going to talk about it.
I guess it's been out for a few years.
Yeah, it's been a while, but
I have it. I just haven't got to it yet. I'm a bad man.